everyone, Dee here. So today we're going to make paper roses, lots of paper roses. So as you can see, I have lots of paper roses in the background and also here in front of me. So I use just one technique into making these and I'm going to show them to you. These paper roses, as you can see in the background, you can always use for events or for, personal milestones such as baby showers, birthday parties, even weddings. You can make your own. So the first step that we need to do is prepare our tools and materials. So these are the materials that we will be needing. Towels, a marker or a pen, glue sticks and glue gun, scissors, templates, cardstock, and optional, but I really do advise cardboard or carton box. So we'll be beginning by tracing our patterns. So you have two options here. So I used to do this before. I used to cut my patterns using the Cricut. But with a project as big as this, or if you have a big project in which you need multiple flowers or lots of flowers, it's not advisable. What's advisable is to cut by scissors, tracing your templates and then cutting by scissors. In that way, you can cut multiple sheets at a time. So that saves you time. So I'm going to demonstrate this technique by using the largest template, which is the template for the 20-inch rose. So we have petal 1. So 10 pieces for this. This petal will compose the bud. And then we have petal 2, 8 pieces, and then petal 3, the outermost petal, will be 8 pieces as well. And then we have the backing. So the next step would be by tracing and cutting our templates into our paper. So I usually opt to use cardstock, 60 pounds. I usually get them from Michael's or Amazon, Digital Spring Hill. So let's trace. Tip, I highly recommend using a pencil, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I use a colored pen. So the line would be more visible. And then, as you can see, I have a big space here. So I usually use it for another template because, as you can see, the template for this rose won't fit in here. So I usually opt for a smaller template, which is, for example, for my medium. So I usually place it here. And then I most of the time use fillers for the other spaces, for example, here and here. So that's what I usually do. You see? So by the way, I cut my papers 4 at a time. So I would trace this 2 times more because so these are 10 pieces. So since I cut them 4 at a time, so I need to trace 2 more. For petal 2, so same steps apply. So let's trace it. So this one I need 1 more since these are 8 pieces. So I need 1 more. And the third one, petal 3, the largest petal. As for the base, so I highly recommend having a base. So you can place the double-sided tape in there or wire. So you can use recycled carton boxes or from the box. So this is actually, yeah, as you can see. So as you can see, this is actually a box of our steamer. Since my husband will be throwing this out, it's like I stopped him. Hey, I need that. So this will be the backing for my roast. Now we will be starting to cut it. Set these aside, the carton box, so we will be using that after we've assembled the flour or the roast. So we will be cutting this now. So one tip, by the way, when cutting multiple sheets of paper is by placing binder clips to hold your pieces of paper. So I've got all of my petals. The next step would be rolling the edges. Now that we have our petals, so organize them. So this is petal 1, 2, and 3. So petal 1. So these are 10 pieces. So I'm going to divide this by our first 4, second 4, and then last 2. So the next step would be, aside from dividing them, so we're gonna roll them. So as I have mentioned, I have several sizes of dowels. So for this, I would probably use this. I think this is like 5/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to use this. I think this is 1/4 of an inch. So this is just like a bamboo brush handle. And then you can use whatever dowel you may have, but this one, so I bought it from Home Depot. I just got it in the store because this is like an 8-foot um long wooden dowel or wooden rod. Yeah. So since these are big, so for the first 4, I'm going to roll them. So you can do this, or you can do this. So if you've traced and cut, you couldn't help but have like lines on your petals. So for the first 8 of your petal ones, I am suggesting that you roll where the lines are, or yeah, where your lines are. You'll see later why. But yeah, so whatever is easier for you. The last 2, so I would do this. And then, so the difference between this batch and this would be, so you roll that over. And then I'm going to get my smaller dowel, and then from the opposite side, I would roll this on the opposite direction, or towards the opposite direction. So as you can see, you will have some kind of W. For the smaller templates, same applies. So you can do this. You can also do this. Again, whatever is easier for you. Now, for the second petal, or petal 2, so divided by 4, I usually do by batches of 4. So for this one, so this is big, so I would roll it first, like this. And then, so you roll it on this direction, so flip it. And then I'm gonna roll it on the other, towards the other direction. I mean the edges. So as you can see, another W. So for the second batch of your petal 2, I would cut it. So the templates have guidelines as to until where. So you'll see later why. So others would not use a dowel, so let's try. You can also do this. And then folding it like this. So if you don't have a dowel. So that can also work, but I just prefer it with a dowel. So let's do this edge. So the curl is more pronounced. So I just prefer it that way. Okay. As for the last petals, so you see? Okay. So for the smaller patterns, so same goes. So my tip for the smaller pattern, so you don't need to roll everything, just the edge with a larger dowel. And then flip it, and then you see, same effect. Now, so set your other petals for now. We're gonna focus on our petal 1, or the first petal. You remember our our batches. So first 4, second 4, and then the last 2. So let's do the first 4, the first batch. So we're gonna make a cross-like pattern using the first 4 petals. Don't overlap the petals. So by the way, this is the time that you should grab your glue gun. So I'm using a Sure Bonder. I love it. So attach it. And then grab your second batch. For this one, you can go a little, you can give a little bit of allowance. Like the first one is very tight. The second one, you can give a little bit of allowance. So like this. So we're also going to make a cross. Okay, so grab your first one. Going back to your first one. So what we're gonna do is close it to form a cone. So you can form a very tight one like this. The effect is you would have a smaller bud. I prefer my bud to be a little bit chubby, so I would do it like this. And then place hot glue on the edges. Let it dry or else it would like poof or pop out. And then I'm going to place hot glue here. And then let's close it like this. Now grab your scissors and the pointy edges, it would be advisable to cut it. And then we're gonna attach our first cone to our second batch of petals for our second cross. So we're gonna close it like this, giving a bit of space here. So I'm still gonna place in glue on this side of the edge. And then the last pair. So close it, giving a bit of space here. Seam. So it will look something like this. So don't forget to remove the pointy edges. And grab your last pair. So this one will go where you've finished last. So it will be something like this. So let's place glue. And then this one, instead of placing it on this side, you will be placing it on the lower corner of your petal or lower part of your petal. So I usually do it 2 at a time. Just make sure that you're gonna attach it immediately. So something like this, a little bit close to your bud. So for this one, so you will be placing this tip up to where your slit is. And then don't attach it. So what we're going to do is place the hot glue on the sides where the tip ends here, where the slit ends here. So you'll start there. And then what we're going to do is, you see the middle of this petal? So target that one. So on the other side, so this middle, so target again this one. And you can start working upside down, but be careful not to push it down or else the tip, for example, this one. But the good thing is you can always unfold it, but just be careful. But it's just easier to work this way. So as you can see, if this is not cut, you will have to like fold it, and then you will have some folded tips. We've got it so that we can fold it like this. So you saw it. So let's place in. Neat, right? Yep. So hold it till it dries. So with this is kind of tricky. So you don't need to do it by twos. So work on the next one. Again, tip of this goes at the end of the slit, of your slit. Target the middle. Aim for the middle. Add more glue if necessary. So you will have this petal kind of blooming, as you can see. So you can go a bit further if you wanted a bit close, but if you're targeting size or the dimensions, so go for a more open one. And we'll do the base. Let's do the last of petal 2. I haven't closed the base yet. Let's do that together with this. Let's do both at a time. So add more glue if necessary. So, almost there. Grab your first batch of petal 3. So, oh, I forgot to close it. So let's close it. Close it first. So this one, since if you notice, we almost have a square. So I don't need to cut it because it is almost straight. So what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna place it on top of this line and then close it here on the middle of the previous petals. We'll do that for the next petal. So let's check how our flower is. So almost. So for the last batch, to avoid this squarey flower, so we're just gonna like round it. So we're not gonna place it where we are still what do you call this, enlarging, sorry, that we're still enlarging the flower, but we're gonna like just place it where we will be rounding it, or making it round, sorry, not rounding, but making it round. So we're still gonna place it on the in between these petals. So I think it would be helpful for us to do it this way so we can see. So you see, we're not placing it here, but rather just to round it like that. So let's place in the glue. So the other side. Last two petals. Last one. Here we have our flower. Last step. Almost done. So make sure that everything is intact. So add more glue if necessary. And then remove those cobwebs. You don't want your flower flimsy. Last is adding your base. So you can add a larger base, but I just prefer this one because it's like you have a bumpy base. It's not really straight. The one that's straight is really this. So what would hold on your carton box would be just this. But it's up to you if you want a larger base. So I would add some glue on this. If you are selling, so some tips. So if you're selling your flowers and you do not want just like a carton base like this, you can always add a piece of colored paper, white paper, and then you can add your stamp. And then you can add your double-sided tape, mounting tape. So let's add this. And we're really done. Yay! As I've mentioned, all of the roses here in my background or in the backdrop is made using just this technique. So slightly different patterns or templates, different sizes, as you can see. And in my opinion, mixing the sizes makes it interesting and more beautiful. So until next time, toodles! Again, this technique is applicable no matter the size of the template. However, if you want to see the roses of different sizes being assembled, click the links of the videos here.